Donnie B, GotDaBeats.
Happy Sunday morning, everyone. It's Donnie B got the beats. We live on the beat, and you know what time it is, man. We got to insert a glorious intro for my next guest. Listen, this lady, I can't say anything negative about this lady. I've been following her for a good number of years. Whether or not you know or do not know, I'm a music producer. And I have kept my ear to the streets as far as how to get connected in the music industry. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Trying to reach out, trying to figure it out, and try to figure out who the movers and shakers are in this business. And I've come across a lot of them. But this lady's hustle is undeniable. Like, she moves like nobody else I've ever seen with regard to being on the left side of the industry. And on the left side meaning on the inside of the industry, being open to people that are not in the industry. She's very engaging. Has a lot of like a wealth of knowledge as far as what the do's and do nots of how to engage with people in the music business formally. How to get your products tight. A lot of just self-care, and she speaks from a place of perseverance and how to preserve yourself and cultivate and grow as an artist or a music producer. So I got nothing but love and respect for this lady. She's amazing. I've actually worked with her a couple times. I need to work with her some more. That's on me though. But nonetheless, without further ado, A&R, entrepreneur and music producer, manager, Sarah J. Miss J, how you doing?
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No problem, no problem. So how's your day going? Everything good on your side of the world?
Yeah, everything's good. I'm just working. I'm just constantly working.
Like I said, that's why I admire your hustle so much, because I work all the time too. So I
Yeah.
mean, somebody else who's always grinding is glorious, man. Where are you at these days? Are you on the East Coast or you on the West Coast?
Yeah, I'm all over the place. I'm in LA. I'm in New York. I'm in Florida. I travel a lot, so I'm just all over.
Okay, okay, all right. All right. Well, blessings to you. And like I said, thank you for taking the time, because I know you're busy, but the whole hour out of your day, it means a lot. And I'm sure that the people that are tuning in will learn a lot from you. So let's dive into this really quick. Who is Sarah J? Tell us about yourself, how you got started, so forth and so on.
Well, I'm a producer manager, you guys. I've been doing this for a long time. I've been managing producers a long time. I started out on MySpace, when that was like the biggest platform, one of my favorite platforms, because they had the music player. So I
Right.
just really networked on there. I used to manage one producer, and I just started reaching out to multiple producers just because I couldn't get the sound from just one producer. So once I started doing that and traveling and connecting the dots and meeting with people, it just kind of took off from there. A lot of mailing CDs to the labels and overnighting CDs and making appointments and going back and forth to New York and LA, sitting down with these labels, just chopping it up, building the relationships.
Awesome. Awesome. I can't imagine that was an easy process in any shape, form, or fashion, was it?
Yeah, no, it's just a lot of, just grinding and just kind of having faith in yourself and the product that you're putting out there. And I try to stress that to producers all the time. You have to be confident in the music that you're putting out there, because if you don't like it and you're not confident with it, like somebody else, isn't going to hit you back on it because they feel the same way. So,
Okay. Okay. Definitely pay attention, guys. Insert nuggets of wisdom right here. Growing up in, where'd you grow up? And how'd you break through? How'd you get out?
yeah, I grew up in Chicago. I moved to DC And I've lived in Virginia, Seattle, LA, and you know, just kind of traveling a lot just really helped me out, just to kind of break through or whatever. It's just really important to get out and about. If you're only going through the Gmail, it's going to be very slow. So I always recommend to travel.
Indeed. Okay. Okay. So I know you touched on it a little bit topically in the introduction, but like, was there a formal way that you got into in the music industry, or was it, like you said, just based off of working with that your first music producer, and then shotgunning from there?
Yeah, I used to work out of different studios. So a lot of my friends were always in the music business. So I just kind of created my own lane, you know, breaking producers. And that's really how I got in. I started out placing a lot of mixtape records, and then it just turned into album work. So I would say just the constant traveling, reaching out to people, MySpace, using the BlackBerry like crazy. I don't know if you remember the BlackBerry, but that's really what I used. So I used to hit people on BBM Messenger. I used to email people, cold calls. Like, I didn't care. It's really how I got in. You know, it's just being really proactive and just hitting people up.
Indeed, indeed. So persistence is key.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Okay, okay. The music management portion of it. Could you tell us what is involved with music management portion? Because there's a lot of people out there that say that they're music managers, or I got a guy, or I want to overlook his I can get him from point A to point B. But I'm not sure that everybody has a full-on clue of everything that's involved. So could you dive into that a little bit?
Right. So music management is just really being able to, read contracts, break down the language in contracts. You definitely have to have a knowledge of language and contracts and agreements and things like that. Not being afraid to network, once again, reaching out to different lawyers, different managers, different music supervisors, artists, DJs, engineers, and going to events, dealing with people with publicity and press and things like that, getting your clients work, just being very, very, proactive as far as, reaching out to people and following through, for your clients and things like that. Now, I manage a few producers, but I also just shop everything that comes through my emails. I can't manage 50 producers and then only 5 of them are getting placement. So I like to be fair all across the board. You know what I mean? I'm getting music submitted to me crazy through all my platforms, and then other A&R colleagues send me their producers' music, and I have artists that send me their producers' music. So I'm getting just a plethora of beats from everywhere. I like to just shop everything around. But when it comes to management, it's just really just kind of having that experience and really having your foot deep in management, just off of your experiences and just years that you put in, so.
Okay. I'll bet. Now, I gotta imagine that, like you said, with shopping, I mean, having that magnitude of options coming across your emails. I know I know for a fact that you've changed your email quite a few times to substantiate that. But
yeah.
on the inside of the enterprise of what it is that you're building, I gotta imagine you have to have like a lot of assistants and people that help you with the process. I mean, are you just doing all that by yourself?
No, I honestly, I do everything by myself. I've had people, that they want to be my assistant, they want to go through my emails, but I trust myself. So I just go through everything, and I have a really good system of how I do things. So everything's organized in folders and things like that. I'm thinking about getting on Dropbox because I feel like it would make me more efficient, over the years. But I do have multiple emails. I'm always in them every single day. I have different folders. Like I said, I reshop beats, if I've shopped stuff 6 months ago, I might reshop it because it's in like certain folders and things like that. So I'm just very organized. So it works.
Okay. The with regard to, because this is somewhat off of the topic, but it's still on music management. But speaking specifically to music producers, because again, like I said, I know you do that a lot, and we're not going to divulge a lot of information because we want people to patronize and actually pay for what your services that you have out there. But with regard to the music producers, what is one thing that you care to share that you feel would help to really perfect anybody's game as far as trying to get submitted and rise?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say just your level of professionalism. Like, look at how you're reaching out to people. Are you writing like a whole paragraph or essay about, I'm 17 and like people don't like to hear that. Like, just really work on your etiquette and professionalism as far as how you're putting the music out there, how you're presenting it to people. When you're hitting people up, are you just introducing yourself and then kind of ask them for their email, kind of in a creative way, like a lot of artists and A&Rs, we get bombarded with emails and DMs of craziness. So it's like, think of a creative approach of how you can hit people up, say something different that other people aren't saying, you know what I mean? But just basically a nice intro and, how can you get music to them and be very professional. I tell producers, hit up 20 to 30 people a day. And out of those 20, 30 people, 3 or 4 might hit you back. And you got to do that every single day. You know what I mean? Like the average producer, if you're just going through emails and you're really not reaching out to people, it's going to be very slow. So just overall work on your professionalism of, reaching out to people.
Okay. And for those that are just getting familiar with you and your what it is that you present to people in the music industry, could you just topically just gloss over it? And I hate to do name dropping, but sometimes that's the only thing that people resonate with. Can you give us a slight list of the people that you've placed for and worked with?
Oh yeah. So yeah, I've placed records for Meek, Tory. I've been on all his albums. Ross, Wale, French, Machine Gun Kelly, 50, Jim Jones, Fab, Kevin Gates, Jeezy, Big Boy. Did I say Nipsey already?
Nope.
R.I.P. Nipsey. And many more.
It's an impressive list. Impressive list.
Thank you.
You guys definitely need to check her out for sure. So currently, with that being said, I mean, I'm sure you're always in the shop. I'm sure you're always in the kitchen, chefing up, and just perfecting and refining what you're already amazing at. Do you have anything else that you're currently working on, or is it just all this all day?
Right now, I'm working on a girl group. Can't say their name right now, but they are about to come out. I got 4 records placed with them. They're similar to a City Girls mixed with maybe like a Destiny's Child. So look out for that. I have some records coming with Meek. I'm placing a lot of sync licensing stuff for TV and film and things like that. So if you guys have records that are sample free that fit the format of these shows, I tell producers just to watch different sport networks, First Take, ESPN, all that stuff, and listen to the background music, Love and Hip Hop, different shows on BT, and just kind of listen to the music in the background. If you have anything similar, definitely hit me up. I'd like to shop it around.
Okay. Love it. So my favorite portion of the interview is called Hot Topics. And these are questions that are designed for people to get to understand who you are as a person through random based question, right? So I'm gonna fire off a few of them. Let's see what you have to say about them. Okay, ready?
Okay.
Okay, here we go. 3 things you don't know. What are 3 things that people don't know about Sarah J, and or are that you wish to clarify that people are saying about you?
Okay, number 1, I am not a producer. So whatever you hear on the internet, I produce, I take credits, whatever. No, I do not know how to produce, you guys. I wish I did. I think it's genius. Whoever knows how to work MPC 3000, different equipment and software that you guys use. So yeah, I don't produce. What else? I went to barber school 2 years ago. I'm also a men's barber. A lot of people don't know that, but because of COVID, I haven't been cutting in the shop just because it's still Corona out here. So I choose not to cut right now. And a third thing, I don't know right now. I don't even know.
I know it's hard.
I'm an Aquarius.
Okay. 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 Well, all right. But revisiting the men's barber thing, it's no fellas, get you a lady that can edge you up, but then get your beats placed too. That's
Right.
awesome.
Right. I just need to do that one celebrity haircut that will kind of like just make my shit just go all the way up. I'm thinking about that too. So
I'm sure. I'm sure that it'll be a no-brainer. It'll be like, oh, amen.
yeah.
Next question. Top five MCs. What are your top five MCs of all time?
Okay. Top five MCs in no particular order.
Yeah.
Tupac, Biggie, Nas, Nipsey, and Fab.
Okay. Okay. That's interesting. That's an interesting list. I get it. I get it. Okay. Netflix, what's on your virtual or visual playlist of things that occupy your time, or do you even watch TV? Because I know you're hella busy.
Honestly, I do not watch TV. I really don't watch TV. Like I always ask people for recommendations of stuff to watch on Netflix,
Mhm.
but I really don't watch. Like there's not like a whole series of shows that I can say that I've watched. So
Mhm. Okay. No worries. Not everybody can sit there and do it. Me, I'm a creative, so I'm
okay,
always creative by stuff like that, and just
yeah.
storytelling and stuff like that. So that's neither here nor there, though. I get it.
No,
So
I have a lot of producers tell me that though, that when they watch movies, they zone out and listen to the music in the background and kind of like the plots, and it helps them make beats. So I don't know if that's the same for you, but
yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's funny. A friend of mine and I, we were talking to a guy that's over at Warner Brothers, and he was asking me about my background, and I was telling him like, it's funny. I'm like, there's an old TV show that used to be on HBO. I don't know if you remember it or not. It was called Dream On. And the protagonist in it was a guy who basically grew up watching TV. So like the show was about him and his life, but everything that happened to him, he compared it to something he saw on TV.
okay,
So I'm kind of like that, like where I grew up, and all just TV was always on. So that's where I get a lot of my music from. A lot of my inspiration comes from things
okay,
I've seen or heard. So
yeah.
uh, you know, so that's that. That's it for the hot topics. I mean, we coasted through this thing, man. All right, so this is a good question. Politics as usual. What is your thoughts on the current state of the union in the United States with all of the things that's been happening over the past almost 2 years now? Pre-COVID and then going through COVID and then the change in the presidential the people in the office and it's just a lot.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on the current state of affairs in the union?
Well, last year was definitely like a really crazy year with everything that was going on, with the presidential debate and with COVID and um, everything that happened in different cities with Black Lives Matter protests and all that stuff. I mean, it was just nuts. So I'm glad that it seems like we might be reopening things right now and kind of getting back to our old life. But it's hard to say. I mean, with Biden, it's hard to say where it's going to go in 6 months from now because gas prices are going up. These mandatory shots they're talking about, and I'm just watching the news and listening as much as everybody else is, and checking out and researching. It's kind of hard to tell where it's going to go. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I just pray for the best. I pray that healthcare is really big for me. I feel like everybody deserves really great healthcare, and so I hope that they help out with that and education and just cost of living. I think that's like the number one issue too. Is like everyone's rent is so high, and
Mhm.
if you talk to any of your friends, it doesn't matter if they're doing really well, doing bad, whatever. Everyone always talks about their rent and how expensive it is. So I hope that they can, help and fix that stuff too.
Yeah, as you can imagine, being in LA, rent control is that is a hot topic in itself, man. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. So yeah, I totally agree with you. What is your thoughts though on because I know you mentioned vaccinations. What's your stance? Do you have one that you care to share?
I don't want to get vaccinated. I don't. Yeah, I don't want to get the a vaccine. I consider myself a really healthy person. I don't get the flu and any of that. I don't want that foreign stuff going in me. I'm not around a lot of people right now, and when I do, I wear masks. So I'm really not focusing on that shot right now. Yeah, I'm not into it. I'm sorry.
No, I don't feel you should have to apologize for your perspective on it. I actually, I'm not gonna take it. I
Okay.
mean, if everybody else went through, that's on them, and I think that's their right.
Hmm.
But I just, me personally, I don't like you. I don't want foreign objects, foreign things in my body, especially when it's not approved by the FDA.
Yeah.
So it's they're making it mandatory, but there's no regulation
Yeah.
on what they're building. You know what I mean? And
Right.
on top of that, so another thing that a lot of people don't know about me is I'm a techie. So I mean, I've been in the AV world for over 20 years,
Hmm.
and so when you roll out stuff in a new environment, like new operating systems, new updates, you never roll out the first gen without testing. It's just because it will damage your infrastructure like immediately if it's not prepared correctly. So to me, it's the
Yeah.
same thing with these vacs. So I'm not doing it. So I feel you, and thank you for sharing because I know it's sensitive for a lot of people.
Yeah. No
But
problem.
yeah, no, no.
No.
Okay, all right. Um, What are your thoughts on the current state of the music business with regard to and the backstory in this is there is a substantial amount of people who feel it's like old versus the new. You know what I mean? A lot of the older rappers like Meth and Redman and a lot of the older rappers have axe to grind against the newer people and so forth and so on for and I think for justified reasons on both sides of the coin.
Hmm.
But being from the old industry to and watching it traverse and move and morph, what are your thoughts on the current state of it and against up against the previous models or iterations of the music business?
Yeah, of course. One thing I can say is adapt. Like you have to learn how to adapt. A lot of my old friends from back in the day, if they're not doing music anymore, they haven't adapted. And I get that some people want to change careers and things like that, but a lot of them haven't adapted. And so if you can't keep up with, technology and the new formats of music and how we're receiving it and that kind of thing, it's going to be really hard for you to sustain. Um, so it's just really important, you know what I mean? And um, it's going to keep on changing. It's forever changing. And um, it's just, it's crazy how fast things are moving and how many platforms there are and how the blogs are changing and everything's digital and less printing and all that. So if
Mhm.
you're a music producer, like I always tell them too, it's like you guys have to market yourselves like artists these days, like out of sight, out of mind. If nobody knows who you are and they can't see you, you just don't exist. So it's really important to move like you are an artist out here. You have to be everywhere. I mean, you have to travel, you have to pull up to these studios, book your own sessions, go to events, just get really, really in there with your marketing and creative strategies on how to, just get out there, whatever. But I think that labels might become obsolete. I mean, look at them now. I mean, everybody merged into four or five big companies, and more people want independent over the years. So you just have people just going independent. There's still 360 deals out here. There's still people breaking bread like that with their contracts. But it has changed. But I think it's like a catch 22 because artists and producers have more access than ever before. I mean, look, we can MP3 things. We don't have to mail things anymore. So, I mean, it's just all the resources are at your fingertips. You can use it with your phones, your laptops, and we didn't have that back in the day. So, I see it as a plus. I mean, it's just a plus.
Right, right. Um, I have a question based off of what you said last. with regard to, like you said, I agree, and I feel that the labels at some point in time, in the near future, you know, might get phased out, you know, because of how technology is moving and just the way things are with technology. But let me ask you this: with that being said, and it's like at some point in time, in some way, because of marketing costs and production costs and so forth and so on, you still kind of, it always helps to get a shot in the arm, but financially, right? So with that being said, the rhetoric on a multiple occasions, and I've heard it personally, and I just wanted to see what you thought about it, having that you have a lot of background in this industry. They say, you know, in order to effectively break an artist, right, you need to be prepared to spend upwards of $250,000. Do you agree with that statement, or do you feel that's just how clever can you be, and how you know how to make yourself move and navigate the channels in order for you to kind of make a splash and make breaks? No.
Yeah, I think that number is pretty exaggerated. I don't think you need that much money to break an artist. You know, I even talked to so many people that are like, yo, I want to spend 20 bands on a feature with this person. And I'm like, why? Like the labels don't even care that you have this person featured on your mixtape or whatever. Like spend that money into marketing and traveling and just showing up and being at all these events. Like, I mean, if you were an artist and you were to spend money on going to Coachella and AC3 and South by Southwest and all the key events, I mean, that's going to get you further than spending it on one feature. And half the time, these artists aren't even going to do the feature with you because they're signed to a label and they're just not going to co-sign that feature if you're nobody. You know what I mean? So you got to really spend your marketing dollars wisely out here. Also, pay for PR people that you know you're going to get results with. Like, look at reviews, look at what they have done. Don't just pay these companies that take your money and don't actually do what they're going to say. Like back in the day, we had real PR companies that would get you on these red carpet events, get you in magazines, just get you at all the key events and top blog sites and things. Now it's different. You just, there's so many just weird things going on right now that you just need to like research everybody and everything, you know.
Right.
But breaking an artist is pretty difficult. I'm not going to lie. It takes a lot. It takes a lot of relationships, you know, a lot of key relationships to help you get that artist to the next level. I feel like it takes a team. I feel like it really takes a team of great people behind an artist to help them kind of maneuver through the industry. Um, and what else? I mean, everything goes into, you know, recording budget, traveling, you know, press. Um, what else? It's a lot. It's a lot with an artist. I feel like it's harder to break an artist than a producer, for sure. And then a lot of these labels, you know, they'll just look to see, you know, how you're moving online, and they'll just come and, you know, piggyback and kind of scoop you up after you did all the legwork. So, you know, you gotta be mindful of that too. Like, is that what you want to do? You know, do you more really want to do the major label signing, or do you want to stay independent and keep most of that money in your pocket? You know, so it's a lot of tough decisions.
Indeed, indeed. No, and yeah, it is a lot. But I think that's the thing with the industry. And well, it's always been with the industry, and so I wanted to say this to you too. The fact, that you agreed to come in on this, it says a lot, at least to me, because you know, for coming up as an aspiring artist, as then you know, aspiring music producer, you know, trying to reach out to A&Rs, they always kind of appear to be what's the word, harder. Well, that's a very, actually that's the effective word. But I mean, just real hard to kind of engage with. They're like enigmatic, like the way that they move. It's like, okay, you want an A&R to help you, so you can be able to liaise with the labels, but they don't give you no contact information. You got to scour the universe to try to find an effective form of communication just to get them.
Yeah.
Then most of them ghost you and so
Yeah.
forth and so on. So that's why I said, like, meeting you, and like off the first go round, reaching out to you, you immediately hit back. You know what I mean? And like even now, like I said, you're taking the time out of your busy schedule to do this interview, and effectively give you know, free information for lack of a better word, back back to the community. And I think that that's the thing that I gotta say that I respect, because it's difficult. People, the industry has made it difficult to open up the trade lines, let's speak. And have you noticed that? And has that have you accounted for that? And is that why you kind of open yourself up and say, hey, listen, I'm just trying to work, or so forth and so on? You know what I mean? Like, what's your thoughts on it?
Absolutely. It takes me back to the days of when I was first coming up in the music, and I reach out to people and I hit people up, at the labels. Let's say it was like a cold call or a cold email, whatever. And they're like, oh, I'm not going to take this call because it's unsolicited. You know what I mean? You have to have your lawyer contact me. And it's like, that's the BS. That's the BS that you have to actually go around them and just move around to the next person, because there's always going to be people that, don't hit you back, but work with the ones that do. So if someone's being difficult and is giving you that kind of lawyer talk or whatever, I just go around them. You know what I mean? I don't have time. Like, that's how you miss opportunities in this game, is just, being Hollywood and stuck up and acting like that. Like, you don't need to act like that. It's crazy. I've dealt with that a lot, though. I really have. Like, I'm so used to it. Like, there's nothing I haven't seen or heard in this business, because I've been in it so long. So I dealt with that for years.
Right. Hey, but again, kudos. Man, shouts out to you. Nothing but love and respect, because clearly, like I said, the fact that I can
Appreciate it.
actually get you, and even though for working with you on my submissions, and just the information that you provided. I've been doing it for a long time too.
Yeah.
But I mean, even you were giving me stuff that I had never heard. I'm not saying that I had a big head or anything like that, but it's always good to hear from somebody that knows really and has boots on the ground, actual factual knowledge of how to move, and is willing to share it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So hats off to you for that. And we had Lisa Dove Washington. Just shout out Dove Stuff Magazine, a magazine from the DMV. She chimed in and say hello. Good
Hello,
person.
Lisa.
Good friend of mine, man. But she watches all of the beats, but she was excited to check in with you, for sure.
Oh, thank you.
Any advice for aspiring talent? Even whether or not it could be just producers, but people specific to, like, who want to come up in in your image, and young Sarah J's who have admire the hustle, and they see what you have built, what you're doing, or maybe they just see this today and it's like, oh, holy shit, she's dope. Like, how can I do that? You know what I mean? What is your advice for that?
Yeah, so advice for aspiring artists and producers, start building like a contact list of people that you want to network with, reach out to, start introducing yourself. When COVID's over, start going to some of these events. You can research in like the Twitter search bar, music conference, music showcase, beat battle, beat seminar, producer event, things like that. Start researching different events, and go to these places, start networking. Networking is key in this business. So that's like my number one tip, is networking. Because of course you're going to meet people in person versus the Gmail. Also just, having faith in your music, not taking no for an answer. If someone shoots you down, they don't like your music, who cares? Just keep on keeping it moving, just keep on reaching out to new people. Definitely try to have a budget, for your music, a traveling budget, things like that. What else? Constantly keep creating, being consistent. I talk to some producers and artists that will send me a bunch of music, and then I won't hear from them for 2 3 months, and they fell off, and then they come back a year later. Oh, nobody placed it. No, nobody hit me back yet. So it's like, you gotta just know that there's always going to be people that replace you. You have to be consistent in this game if you want any kind of real results.
Right.
What else? Just being yourself, being yourself, not copying other people's sounds, coming up with your own unique sound, your signature sound, developing yourself, updating your sounds. If you're a producer, make sure you're updating your sounds, your drums, working on the format of your beats, just things like that.
I also want to add a caveat to that. Could you speak to, because all love and respect, but you know, your sister in the game, in the music industry. I know for a long time that's long since been a hot topic about the representation in the industry for women, women of color, so forth and so on. What is your advice for the younger women? Like what is your perspective on women in the entertainment industry now? Is it a little bit better than it was in previous years? Is it kind of is things evolving to for you know to make it better, or I mean, what changes have you noticed with regard to women representation in the industry?
I feel like women are killing it right now. Like women, like we're winning. Honestly, there's so many platforms for us, and just so many ways to get out there. You just have to just be professional about your brand and things like that. But obviously, there's always gonna be men that try to talk to you, or because it's just always a male dominated industry, whether you're in music, entertainment, whatever. So just keep everything professional, focus and work on your brand. Um, but it's easy, for a woman to come up, especially in the music business. You just have to know people. Just get out there and network. Like I said, networking is key. Um, but yeah, a lot of women are winning right now.
Okay, all right. Well, that's the last bit of information. We kind of flew through this. I mean, but again, it was great, and I appreciate you for your time and your information and your energy.
Yeah, thank you so much.
The whole nine. Yeah, no problem, no problem at all. Um, Lisa, Lisa said, "Woman of the dog, doing the doggone thing."
What'd you say? I can't see that comment. She said what?
Sorry, Lisa said, "Women are doing the daggone thing in all areas right now. We are showing
Right,
up."
right, Lisa.
Shout
Yeah,
out to these
sure.
two. It's funny too. I gotta throw the little shout out to my baby girl. My baby girl just she put her first website up. She's a young entrepreneur doing her thing, uh, doing women's fragrances, men and women's fragrances. So she just
Nice. Okay.
14 years old. Love it.
Wow. That's great.
Uh, Lastly, how can people learn more about you? And also too, take a second to talk, talk about your services, so that people know how to engage you. What they need to do to step up to get more information and engage with you.
Yeah, so if you follow me, you guys, on Instagram, SJ Manager, Twitter is SJ Manager also. Also follow me on Clubhouse, SJ Manager, dope platform for people to connect and network on there. If you're interested in a beat review, it's a 30-minute call, very personalized. I listen to your music, feedback. I go into real detail about, split sheets and administration deals, pub deals, just different areas of the business. If you're interested in that, you can contact me on my Instagram or my Twitter DM to schedule. I also do promo on my story if you're interested in that. What else? I have a podcast coming soon. I have some things coming up soon, some different events and things once COVID is over. So make sure you stay tuned for that.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, like I said, I appreciate you and your time. I know you guys we're ready to get you out of here. But I definitely loved every bit of this. This is probably the most informative one that I've been on.
For
And
sure.
actually,
Thank you.
Lisa Del Washington says she loves it. Wow, you know.
Thank you,
Uh,
Lisa.
and I'm sure all of the other people who are tuned in, they might not have the words right now, but I'm sure they can always rewind this thing and glean the information that they need to get and engage with Sarah J. Man, she's awesome, and definitely she is 1,000% about everything that she says, and I stamp that. And if anybody knows me, knows I don't stamp really anything that ain't worth it. You know what I mean? So I'm telling you right now, she's the business man. So holla at this lady right here, man. But Sarah, thank you. I'm gonna be in touch because I know I'm one of the people that you said. Like I submitted it, did fell off for a couple months, but I dabble entirely too much. I gotta
Yeah.
trim the fat off stuff to get back to hollering at you. But definitely, I'll be in touch
Yeah.
soon.
Hit me up. Hit me up for
For
sure.
sure. For sure. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. It's another one down, man. I thank you guys for your time and your energy. The beat is doing very well. Just so you know, stay tuned this Tuesday. I got one of the top 5 real estate agents in Accra, Ghana, that's going to be on, and he's going to talk about the real estate business overall, as well as international real estate business, as well as the real estate business in Africa. Very wealthy man, but very knowledgeable and personable as well. So shout out the Gut Cameo again. Sarah, thank you, man. I can't, like I said, you're my favorite person in the industry right now. I'm just telling you right now. So I mean, I'm not even. It's not even just jokes. I'm dead serious. So I admire your hustle. You
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Moving. You know what I mean? And any last words?
I hope to network with you guys. Feel free to hit me up on the platforms, SJ Manager, and just keep grinding out here. Keep working.
That's all we can do. stay grinding, stay busy, stay masked up though, regardless. I know the vaccines out here for some of y'all that's going to take that, but man, please just for the love of God, just at least through the summer, stay masked up for all right. But nonetheless, Donnie B got the beats. We're live on the beat. Stay tuned for the next coming episodes, and it's all love. Peace out.
Donnie B.